Hello everyone, let's take a look at how I defeated the heroic version of Noth the Plaguebringer. I'm using a druid deck created specifically for this fight. You can find the link to this deck, as well as a short guide on how to defeat this boss on heroic difficulty in the description below. The main concern in this fight is Noth's essentially passive hero power, which every time one of your minions dies, causes a 5/5 skeleton to spawn on his side. These minions are very strong, and you can be very quickly overwhelmed, and for this reason our deck is comprised mostly of few but very strong minions, just to minimize the effects of his hero power. Ideally, you want to have cards such as Innervate and Wild Growth in your hand towards the start of the game, because they allow you to quickly move up to higher cost minions and put extra pressure on Noth. Trying to damage Noth and ignoring his minions is not generally advisable, and I have actually found it better to try to control the board until almost the end of the game. In this particular case, I thought using Swipe was a waste for a single minion, and so I preferred the Wrath and Hero Power. Conserving your Swipes and your Starfires and Starfalls to be able to take out Noth's stronger minions is very important. Here, Noth's Crazed Alchemist actually does me a favor by, I think making my existing minion stronger than he was. In this particular game I managed to play Ragnaros early, and he also ended up taking out the minion on the board, thus putting me in a very good position. It could be argued that I could have killed the 2/2 Crazed Alchemist with my Druid of the Claw there, thus ensuring that Ragnaros would have hit Noth in the face, but if I had done that, then my Druid would have died to the Abomination. Obviously, in hindsight, it's easy to say that my decision was correct, but as it turned out, it was pretty good. You will also notice that the deck contains Poison Seeds, a Curse of Naxxramas adventure card. I have found these to be mostly useful for taking out Noth's board if it becomes packed with skeletons, such as the one that has spawned right now. Fortunately, that wasn't necessary because Ragnaros was on point again. This is actually an ideal target for Starfire because of the 5 health, so you want to try to use Swipe to take out 4 or 3 health targets and save your Starfire and Starfall to take out the 5 or 6 HP minions that Noth regularly plays. At this point in the game, I decided to play Ysera, even though it doesn't actually help my board in any way, but I just thought that it was early enough and my health was high enough that playing Ysera now would allow her to stay on the board and give me enough time to be able to make use of the cards that she draws. Playing the Sunwalker now is quite logical here, and fortifying the board, just making it stronger. Noth, as you can tell, uses secrets. The main secret to worry about is Counterspell, because if you're not careful and you don't try to fish for it, it could eat up something like a Swipe or a Poison Seeds that you needed to land in order to save yourself. So you should always keep that in mind. This is now a pretty good Swipe target here, I think. I'm hesitant to play Swipe though because I am worried about Counterspell being there. So rather than wasting my Swipe, I instead decide to further consolidate my board and just deal more damage to Noth. Another secret that Noth plays is Ice Block, so when the time comes to finish him off, you should of course try to do so by bringing him as low as possible on health before dealing a fatal blow. This is my maybe fifth or sixth attempt to beat Noth with this deck, and obviously in this case I was quite fortunate with my draws and Noth's draws, but some games can be quite difficult depending on what cards are drawn. You just have to be a little bit persistent. Cenarius to buff the board is quite a logical choice with 3 minions on it, and here Ice Block is triggered exactly as I said. I chose not to attack with Ysera there on purpose, hoping that Noth would ignore my minions and attack me and that thus Ysera would survive. That didn't happen, but it doesn't really matter. And here, apparently Noth did not have a second ice block, so the victory was quite easy, but like I said, you do have to be a bit persistent and try a few times if you want to defeat him with this deck. Anyway, I hope that was helpful, and remember to check our written guide for this fight if you want more specialized advice. Thank you for watching, and good luck!